meal for your business hell, then I'm rich as hell, nigga. You know what I mean? And that'll be all, ladies and gentlemen. Still Jupiter coming out tonight. Yes. If you expect us next time, same time, same stations. We know to fuck shit up anytime we step on this motherfucking day. That's right.
Have you heard this? Have you heard this mixtape?
I'm not.
It's called D-Day by Dreamville, and it's narrated by DJ Drama.
That's J. Cole Squad, right?
Yeah, so it's got Boss, Loot, it's got Jid, Earth Gang, J. Cole, obviously. And it's narrated by, well, not narrated, but it's a mixtape. You know, back in the day, you used to listen to old like rap, and it was all like DJ Drama and DJ, forgot all the other ones, but
yeah,
that's what this is, bro. It's sick. You should listen to it.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, you have like a million features on every track. It's just like a beat, just people throwing their verse on the same beat and just keeps going. Yeah, man. Good old days of hip hop where you could actually understand what they said.
Yeah, right. It was lyrical. It's not just like drugs and hoes and money.
And beats. Yeah, exactly. Like the beat was key. Like you had to have a sick beat, but it wasn't all about the beat. It was more about the flow you could put on a beat.
Yeah, it was actually something good, dude. I've been listening to a lot of like 2000s hip hop, and like I just understand music so much different. Before it was just like hype. It was like hot shit, you know. It was like 6th grade, 7th grade. It was like popping, you know. We used to just dance to it because it was groovy. But now that you listen to it, it actually makes more sense. Like 90s hip hop too. Never really into it growing up, but now I just understand it so much different.
What have you been listening
to? Like Biggie, I've been listening to Tupac. I've been listening to like old 2000s throwbacks like Akon, old Eminem, you know.
Dude, I mean, Eminem for me, I mean, Midwest white kid, like
yeah.
I relate so much. So Eminem was always that guy for me, man. Like, yeah, you really listen to stuff that they don't play on the radio, and like you listen to some of his lyrics and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. It's a totally different just like
different art form.
Yeah.
Like for me, Eminem's like the GOAT because the way he can tell a story through his music, the way he can just take you somewhere, and like how he's a storyteller. He's so natural at it, and you're like, wait, he's rapping right now too. Like, yeah, he's a G.
Yeah, he's dope, man. Well, for everybody listening, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Everybody watching, Jordan, I appreciate you for coming on here again, bro. I think we gotta formalize, I guess, this kind of partnership.
Yes, sir.
Make it officially like Facebook official. So it's gonna be dope. Jordan and I are gonna be doing this. We should make it like a weekly thing where we record it on the same day if we can. That way we just every day we just blast it out on that same day. You know, so today's Friday. I think it'd be dope to do it on Friday. So yeah, Jordan and I, Fridays are good, right?
I like Fridays. Yeah, man. I'm glad to be here, bro. I'm excited to do this, and like it's dope to get to talk about relevant things, how the week went. And dude, I got big ideas for this. So I'm grateful, bro.
Hell yeah, man. I'm excited for this. This is gonna be a nice project. It's gonna be a long term. We have to commit on, you know, for everybody listening, we have to commit to everybody. We can't stop, bro. We gotta keep going.
Yes,
so I had an idea of starting this. If we're gonna do this on Fridays, well, I wanted today to just kind of give a I know crypto is like your thing, bro. So I feel like doing a weekly recap of like what happened. Big news in the NFT world this week with OpenSea. Yeah. And I think I want to hear your thoughts overall on just weekly price action for like the majors, and then what you think on this whole deal with OpenSea and Solana, which was talked about for a while, and now it's actually a thing. I think Vivi is gonna end up on OpenSea.
I think Vivi. Oh, Vivi. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going down with Vivi. I mean, the big news also this week was the hack on Ronin chain. Guy got away with 600 million in ETH. And I don't think the news for me isn't so much that, wow, there's been another hack, because hacks happen in crypto. Just kind of where we're at. It's a new technology. People are going to take advantage, but we will get better and the security will improve, of course. But the fact is, I don't know if you saw this, it took them like 6 days to realize that that money was gone. Like you can see it on the blockchain, reported almost 9 days ago now, missing, or you could see the transactions moving. Like he was moving thousands of ETH at a time, and they didn't report it publicly until 6 days after the fact. So that was a big deal with Axie Infinity. Going to be really interesting to see how their team recovers their image, if the major players are going to keep liquidating, keep leaving, or they're going to stay. We'll see with that. With Vivi, they also announced that they figured out people were selling gems over the counter, like off the exchange. People were getting in at 0.3, 0.4 rate. So their MTL, their money transfer license, has been such a delay. There's been a lot of updates and a lot of people getting mad about that in the last couple of weeks. So with two of our biggest NFT plays, or two of our biggest like companies that we're into right now with Vivi and Axie, they kind of had a rough couple of weeks, honestly, in terms of optics and press. So it's going to be interesting to see how they rebound. Are you in Axie Infinity? Are you in?
So I'm in SLP, which wasn't my greatest move. Yeah. So I wasn't too interested in the actual like game. I was never, I'm not a fan of it. I remember you when you used to do those YouTubes, or those Zooms where you used to just hop on there and play.
Axie.
Like
Yeah.
I couldn't keep up. So, but I wanted part of the project, so I just started buying SLP because I figured if this is what people were earning, then it makes sense logically. I didn't put too much in there, but yeah, it's down to almost nothing.
Yeah, SLP really got pummeled. I mean, they just created, that's a good example of a token. That's why it's good to be in crypto too, because we're getting working life case examples. Like now we'll be able to apply this model that we learned from SLP, being that if you just issue a currency to everybody all the time and it's got an essential infinite supply and you're issuing millions of it by the day to every single player playing, like how can that hold value? And it didn't, right? Obviously you farm SLP when you play the game. I played it for a little bit. I hired a couple people to play it for me. So I had scholars playing for me. At one point I had 3 scholars. I consolidated down to 1 after the last patch because all my Axies that I had they weren't good anymore. So, I'm still farming and I still have access to the token itself. I'm staking it at like 80% on their platform. I got some RON. I was farming that. So I have some passive investments in there just going, but it's like, yeah, it does at this point. I don't know. I have mixed emotions with Axie Infinity. Like I'm gonna leave it in there. It's gonna go because it's not that much money, but we'll see what happens with it. But with Vivi, I've actually been scooping a lot of NFTs off the floor lately.
Yeah,
Vivi, I don't know about you, been low key buying, bro, because I think we're settling at a bottom with all this cash out. Everyone thinks cash out's gonna crash the market, but I think market's already crashed from
isn't that
January
what you
high.
said? Didn't you have that opinion for a bit?
Yeah, I did. And I think everyone did have that opinion. Everyone had the same information, right?
Yeah.
But then I look at the prices and it's like the number for sale is not rising. The number of people selling NFTs on VV is not rising. Like the amount for sale is not rising. There is limited supply for these. That's what we have to remember. But the number of them being for sale are not rising, but the prices are still dropping. So that tells me it's like just less buyers, less buyers, less buyers, less buyers. And so the market is, I think people are scared and people don't want to get in right now while this MTL cash out thing is being settled. But I think that's one of the best opportunities I've seen in a while on the app. I mean, fall was your run up, right? And we've already bottomed out. Like we're down 50% on most things.
Yeah.
If not more. So I've been scooping some comics. I've been scooping some collectibles off the floor, bro.
Damn, bro, that's smooth. I haven't. I've been sleeping on it since it got so hard to catch the drops. I really just kind of gave up on the whole VV thing. But I turned $10 into 900 and something. So all just on comic drops. Like 3 collectibles. I still have a Voltron. That's the only one I still have left. But I sold all my comics. I sold. I had Storm. I had a R2D2. No, it was a CP30, and I got the drop on that one, so it was 60, and I think I sold it for like 700 and something. Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was a good flip, but
I mean, that's a flip, bro. That's a flip. That's a 10x.
yeah, what is it like right now? It's like 3K, 4K.
No, it's down to like 1.7, but it hit like 4K the highest. I got in like aftermarket on that one, 200. I'm looking to pick up a Woody right now. Woody from Toy Story, under 200. Got a Mike Wazowski under list price, under drop price. Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously, if anybody won and you cashed out already, that's a win, right? But it's like that was smart too because it did get crazy. But if there's a time to get back into this app, and it does, if we're gonna have another wave, which I think we will. We have licensed branded NFTs from Disney, Marvel, DC. Come on. So yeah, I mean, the more they drop too, the more that makes the original season one stuff, which will stuff that allows stuff that we have, very, very valuable. And like for
Yeah.
NFTs, that's a holy grail of NFTs is season one, like the first ever, like CryptoPunks, first ever profile pictures on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Like they're just the first. That's why they're worth so much.
So is there like a big thing about, I didn't even hear about the hack that you were talking about. Is that like affecting people's like just like I mean obviously like perception, but like what was it, a major exchange or what was it?
The Axie one, the Ronin
No.
chain.
Yeah. What is
Yeah. So I mean, Ronin is what the chain that runs Axie Infinity's marketplace. So it's a separate chain off
Oh,
Ethereum,
okay.
but they stole ETH, and that everyone knows that address. Not everyone's looking at that wallet, so they can see that you can see that ETH in there. So the ETH is like that's the thing with the blockchain. It's like if you steal money on the blockchain, that money instantly becomes tainted. So it'll be interesting to see. I know the trade house was talking about this yesterday, but it'll be interesting to see how the crypto world treats this and what they do with those funds, and if they what they want to do with that. Because
Yeah.
essentially it's a very open, transparent space, so everyone can see.
Oil dropped
Yeah.
this week.
Oh yeah.
It dropped under 100.
Pull up my charts.
Yeah, oil on the weekly dropped under 100. Did gas drop over by you?
A little bit. Yeah, it's like gas is right around $4. What about you?
It's like 450.
Yeah.
But it was getting up there. It was like four. Yeah, it's fucking sucks. It was like 460, got up to like 470. Premium was like 520 at one point.
Jeez.
Yeah.
See this weekly. Yeah, weekly's down nicely.
Yeah.
I mean, it did that one last weekly when it went from 97 to 130 a barrel. That's pretty crazy. We're still in that range.
Yeah.
But
Gold dropped too.
yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Gold, I thought I was bullish on gold all last week, and then this week was completely reversal.
I'm still bullish on gold. I think it'll come back up there.
Yeah.
And then Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin took a nice little run out this week. Did you catch
Yeah.
that?
No, I didn't. Well, actually, I caught like a couple moves. I think I caught one on Sunday, and then I caught a smaller one. I think it was on Wednesday. But no, I didn't catch any of the big ones.
Dude, I had this thing marked up to the T. But
ETH
dude, I
had,
mean, we're
ETH
still
had
deep in
a,
that. What's that?
ETH had a good week too.
It did. It did. All of crypto had a nice week. And like really, same thing I think with like Vivi. It's like we've kind of dropped off since end of last year. And we basically all of February and March was a reaccumulation. We didn't really make any lower lows. Prices stayed within it. I mean, it's crypto, right? Prices are going to volatile. Like it's crazy because the range we have in crypto is a good 20-30% up and down over a couple months. People will be, if you zoom out on a weekly, monthly time frame, you can actually see that, yeah, that 20-30% swing that we've had for the last couple of months has really just been an accumulation.
Yeah. Hey, so what do you think? What do you think of so we got into this crypto talk real quick. Somebody I went to a networking event, and I was talking to an older gentleman, right? Older Caucasian gentleman he lives in the Loop. And he was we were talking just different investment strategies, and he was talking about the fact that most people, when they have a lot or most of their money in cryptos, it's not a good investment because it's so volatile. So his justification for that was because it's so volatile. And I asked him, I was like, well, why don't you want to take part of like the most profitable asset of the decade, like the highest return that's yielded the highest return in the decade, like when you want to at least a piece of that. And he's like, no more. He said a professional investor, these were exact words, professional investor would do no more than 10% in such a risky investment. And like I was just asking him questions, but I kind of wanted to hear your thought on that because I think I sent you a reel of like somebody else talking about the same thing. It's like the mindset between like having a large majority of money in crypto and only in crypto versus like distributing it into other assets. Doesn't necessarily have to be in like the market, but what's your opinion on like that mindset of like the non-conventional way of investing into quote unquote risky assets for like other people?
That's such a good topic. And I think This is a great topic for this podcast because one of my goals with this podcast is just to bring bite-sized value of like complex stuff to like everyday people that they can take and apply to themselves. And I think this is one of those questions where it's really depends on where you're at and what you really, it's so personal because let's paint a scenario here. I'll use myself. I've been investing in trading for 4 or 5 years now, right? By no means have I made it to the point where I'm completely financial free. Yeah, I've achieved a pretty good amount of success in this market, being able to live life freely and how I choose to see fit. So I'm satisfied with my growth and I'm proud of my growth and my personal strategy where I'm at. I mean, I'm 27 years old. I have my whole life ahead of me. I'm not coming from wealth. I don't have a tremendous amount of wealth that I started with. I started from zero. Actually, I started negative, like student loans, everything considering. So I'm way more risk. I'm way more willing to take risk than I think than a traditional investor, someone who has money, comes from money, it's been working a job. Like for example, my parents, like my mom, her risk appetite and her approach to investing is going to be completely different than mine. Why? Because one, she's 20 some years older than me. She owns a house. Her potential where she wants to take and do with her money and her life is different than what I want to do with mine. So it really comes down to what kind of time horizon are you investing on? If you're investing and putting money away like I am for like at least 20, 30 years, then crypto makes sense to me to hold through the ups and downs. If you're someone who's at the end of their investment life cycle and you're looking at a 10-year, 5-year horizon, maybe it doesn't make as much sense. Maybe it's the risk outweighs the potential gain. So it really just depends on what you're like looking to get out and what your timeline is on it. Like like I said, for myself, I'm young. I have other revenue streams. I've diversified my wealth into other areas. But I've also concentrated a large amount of it into crypto because I believe that gives me the highest upside. And that's something I learned from Mike is like, you have to realize where you're at in your wealth. Like once you've got wealth, and whatever, this is a number of speculative as well. For whatever you feel is like, I have this money, I just don't want to risk losing it. That becomes a different mindset of being conservative and managing it versus like, I need to grow my money. It's like the wealth accumulation mode versus wealth preservation mode.
Yeah.
So you need to know which one you're in. Some people are already in wealth preservation mode. They're already old. They already have money. They already got things locked down. That makes no sense for them to put 50, like over a huge chunk of their wealth into it. Crypto, it just doesn't make sense. Should they be exposed? Should they take the upside? I would say, yeah, at least a portion of it. But versus someone like me who's still in wealth accumulation mode and has all the ability to take risk and take chance, then yeah, why wouldn't you be all in on that stuff?
Yeah. Bro, that's such a bar, dude. Like the perspective that you have on that, and anybody really should like understand that the wealth creation and the wealth preservation, there's levels, there's levels. It's insane. And a lot of wealthy people talk about that. Like when people come up on money, you shouldn't just go buy a nice watch, nice car, nice clothes. Like you should multiply it. Do everything that you possibly can to multiply it. Because later down the road, and I heard Donald Trump just talk about this too. He was interviewed by Grant Cardone at his conference. It's like you get massive tax advantages later down the road when you start investing because different assets have like depreciation, and you can only preserve your money, your income, your assets when you have those type of strategies. But those don't come until you've developed wealth, which takes a different approach. Such a bar, dude, for real.
Bro, I feel like like I said, this is such a speculative, or this is such a ranging. The answers are going to range all over the spectrum based on person to person, based on where you come from, what you started with, where you want to go, where your goals are, what your aspirations are. But like, what's that relative number for you, man? Where you're like, not that you're good, because obviously we understand the importance, like you just said, of continually growing your money, not just letting it go stale. You're not just going to completely stop going for it. But what's a number where you kind of maybe feel like you would make that switch from, all right, I don't need to accumulate wealth anymore. I need to preserve this. I need to set it up to grow long term. I need to like trust fund it, that kind of stuff. What's that number for you?
I
Is
feel
that
like
ballpark?
well, to start 10 million. But
Yeah.
when I feel like at the point where I'm like, I'm good, like for the rest of my life would be like 100 million. You
Yeah.
know, I can't conceive seeing like I can conceive seeing past 100 million, but only so far, maybe like two, three.
Mhm.
But I can't conceive like because I haven't physically met or like have spoken with a billionaire, so like I can't see what that looks like, how the energy that brings. So I can't see that yet. So it's like a C type goal. But I like 10 million. I know people, plenty of people worth 10 million.
Yeah.
I know a few people worth 100 million, and those people they're good, they're
Yeah.
set. So at that point, and I kind of see how they live and the lifestyle, and so that I can see it. But past that, like I haven't got that. So, but like 10 million, I feel like is when you would start. When I would start doing it at a few hundred thousand. However, smaller pieces because you need money to make money. There's a
Mhm.
book it's called What Would the Rockefellers Do? And it talks about family offices and how the wealthy preserve their wealth. And did you, this is maybe kind of different, thrown off a different subject here, but have you heard that life insurance is one of the best ways to preserve wealth because it's essentially tax free
That's free.
when you cash out, but people think life insurance is just like paying a premium for when you die, and that is a perk, but that's the whole reason why, the Rockefellers and to name other, big names, not to go into that kind of rabbit hole, but like that's why they preserve so much of their wealth because it's all tax free over long generations. So it accumulates interest with the markets, and the markets have been bullish for a long time. So,
Mhm.
and it's tax free. That's why I feel like once I get to a point in my life where I'm like handling M's, that they're gonna be my two biggest investments are gonna be into real estate and life insurance because it's tax free, man. And real estate
Yeah.
gets some of the best tax advantages. Until there's a new law for cryptos, when it's really decentralized finance, then it really doesn't make any sense to have any other type of assets.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm right there with you though. Like 10, 10, that eight figures is like, because a
Yeah,
million, it really, dude, it's crazy. Like $1 million isn't even.
dude, a million is 100,000 to people. Like a million, like
Yeah.
$1 million is like, dude, people, yeah. And it's maybe it's just our perspective because a lot of people, somebody listening to this and they're used to 30, 40, 50K. They've never thought past even 100K. We're over here talking millions. Like it's different. It's cognitive dissonance, I think it's called. Like you can't see that. You're crazy if we're talking about those types of numbers. But dude, when like the circles that we're blessed to have access to, like they're talking, 1 million a year is like a bad year, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, a million doesn't, I don't know about you guys, but a million doesn't make me feel like
Safe.
secure, safe. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know,
Maybe a
and
million a
it's like
year,
you
maybe.
said also, and you said also too, it takes money to make money too. So the way I think about it, what 100K a year is what, like 2K a week average, 52 weeks in a year. So I think of $1 million is 20K a week, and that's like, I think of it in terms of not like a million in the bank, but a million of cash flow.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole nother question too. That's a whole nother level. Like
Um,
that's because what you can do with 20K a week coming in, you know,
yeah.
that's that's when my mind starts to go crazy and start thinking, okay, like that's the levels I want to get to is like building cash flow of like first to 10K a month, then 20K a month, then 30K, 40K, 50K, just leveling up cash flow because then like I kind of look at that too. Is like you got all this extra water coming in, all this extra resources. What are you gonna do? All right, I'm gonna put some of it in life insurance. That's taking care of this. All right, I got crypto. All right, I got metals. All right, I got real estate. All right, now get a couple cars. Like have some fun stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's like it's kind of a beautiful yet scary kind of topic and like sight to see when you just have like 20, 30K coming in a week. Like think about the type of person that you have to become to like be worth that much, to have a cash flow of 20, 30K every month.
That would
With
create a lot of
obviously
value.
passive too, you don't want to have to work to the word to the extent of what work really is.
Yeah. Well, I look
Um,
at even like my current income right now. I look at of the 5 to 6 streams I can rely upon on a monthly basis. Um, I look at two of them as like very, very active, you
yeah.
know, And that's why like I'm able to manage two income streams, and like I'm able to work towards those income streams, put the hours in, want to do it, but then even creating like a third and a fourth that are like requiring more time, that's where for me I started to feel even like a little stretched. So I always imagine that as I move along in life, I'm going to have a couple streams of income that are very, very active and requiring my day-to-day participation. And then, yeah, the goal is then to create those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other streams of income that are very passive, through crypto. Like that's what draws me so much to NFTs and crypto. I've been sitting on the sidelines just stacking a lot of cash for them because a lot of the ones that I saw in the last year, like Helium, Axie Infinity, which is the one I took part of, some of them low key, I bought in at the highs, actually, big time, and like I'm still in the red, barely. Give it a couple more months and I'll be in green for Axie. So I like that. I'm like, all right, cool. Like it's in the green, you're going, then you're just earning money on it. You can put more in to make more, but like those sorts of opportunities within the crypto space, like bringing this conversation full circle with the income streams with crypto, it's like they're so abundant. I think there's going to be so many more that are created. Gala is the one that's got my eyes on getting a node for Gala. You're like talking a 5-figure price range right now, but streaming music nodes for the future, they're in with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's just got Death Row. Like he's all about freaking wanting to make blockchain music. Like I don't want to spoil too much. I don't want to give up too much of the beans because this is definitely gonna be future content. But like, bro, music NFTs. I got my eyes and ears on the ground for music NFTs right now because I think that's the next wave.
Yeah, that is, dude, and that's a big wave because once and Tory Lane's already proof of concept, Tory Lane's already did it, and once everybody really gets the hang of it, they need a platform. I think that's what's missing is the platform, and once the platform is out and about, like it'll be a big thing, bro. I want to go back to something that you were talking about, bro, that I think is so important for people to understand because it's something that really it was like a lesson in life for me. So what's your thought on like how much money, and John Guaman was talking about this 3-4 days ago, right? How much money should you have in the bank compared to what you have like invested? Because I've ran across people that are like, bro, my bank, and I've been one of these people where I'm like, bro, my bank account is like at gas prices, but like you look at my crypto portfolio and it's like extremely healthy, And so what is your perspective on that now that you've obviously been through the
man, I've been through it all. I've been through like exactly, having yearly expenses and trading accounts and like having fucking being tripping over getting a $50 meal on my card. Like been there. I'm like, but that was not ideal. So
you're like, yo, you take Ethereum, like can I pay in Cardano?
I don't know, man. This is something I've learned a lot recently and probably last year in my life. But where I'm at now, man, I think I'm in a good spot. Is like, you got to have that savings account that's just fucking emergency only. Like you need that. I never had that, and it makes me feel so much more secure no matter what happens month to month, week to week. Like you said last week, money comes and goes. Like when we come up, when we come down, like you're never tripping because it's gonna come back to you. And like so, but one thing that's helped me tremendously with just my mindset and being able to manage risk and adjust and act accordingly with my money is having a savings, bro. Just having a couple of thousand just in the savings, like that you're never going to touch. That's just there. Like that's just emergency. You can transfer that to checking real quick if you ever need it. And then right now I want to build up. I have a month, but I want to get to the point where I have another 6 months then saved outside of emergency. So just 6 months of your life expense saved always. And like just keeping that as a pool, because then shit, if my income would just be today, I got 6 months time to figure something out, get back where I'm at. And then, all the rest is invested. Every other dime is invested. So I've been the person where I've invested most of my money first, and I've had to build up my savings and build up those security blankets for myself because, it gets tired and old, man, being like, just gets tired and old of being there where you're like a couple $100 charge. And you're like, you got to move some money around. You got to do something. It's like, it's so much better mind space where you can just, you can swipe that no problem. And then like get to the point where you can swipe a couple grand, no problem, because you got it saved up. And it's like, it's just those different levels and it takes time to get to there, but that's what I've done personally. That's what's worked a lot for me. Is
what do you do first? So like a piece of advice for anybody that's listening, what would you do first? Like, would you focus on, let's say right now you don't have either.
$1,000. $1,000 in that savings account, your emergency right there.
So
Never
that's
touch it.
first. And then once you got that, you start working on your 6 months. And then once you got that, then you start investing.
No, that's a dilemma. That's a dilemma. Everybody I've known that's like made a lot of money is like kind of been savage with it and just went all in and just like kind of risked it. But like, I don't know. This is I can only point you to like kind of give you looking back at my journey because you can connect the dots looking backwards. You can't connect them looking forward.
Facts.
So for your journey, like it's going to be different. But I would say get the savings stack, even if it's not $1,000, get it like $500, $250.
I think no, I think $1,000 is solid, bro. You need a comma, dude. You just feel so good when you got a comma.
Yeah. And that's money then like that's your zero. So maybe I created a separate account for it. I needed a separate account for it. But I also now have gotten like my 1 month is like now my zero on my checking. Right. So if I'm under that 1 month expense, I'm negative. That's how I see it now. Like that is zero at my account.
Yeah.
For me, it's 2,500. Like that's my 1 month of expenses with me. $2,500 roughly, 25 to $3,000, right? So if I'm dipping under that in the checking, I'm like, that feels like zero to me. That feels like zero. So I've changed my mindset. Like that's my 0 point. Like so, yeah, it's just like those little mental hacks. I think will really change your life. And just like when you're looking at money, like, because if you've been there, trust me, this will relate to a lot of people. It's like you've been there, like you're like, dude, you're going to fucking dinner with your friends or 6 of you, and they throw down that check, and you're like, God, I hope they don't want. Like you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there your whole life. Like trust me.
Yeah, it's
Even
not.
if you are investing and trading,
Yeah,
which you should do. But I think you become an better investor and trader when you have that stash there protecting you because you don't
yeah.
have the same scarcity mindset.
It's security, man. People, it changes your self-image too. Like people feel better when they got a little change in their pocket. You ever carry cash around and you just feel so much better than when you don't carry cash? It's that sense of security when you have that. And then I think a comma at least, and this is like very low because I've been in the point where I don't have a comma. And so you're just like you get to a point of like almost worry and panic and you start freaking the fuck out and you start making decisions based off of emotion and lack, and that actually deteriorates from that. Instead of making you better, instead of putting you in a better position, it actually brings you down lower. So when you have that sense of security, that's what I would say is like my 2 cents on that would be like focus on at least a stack like you said. I think 2,500 is solid, and then from there start working on your 6 months, but also investing. So you want to do both at the same time. You don't want to wait. And that's 6 months. If it takes you, let's say, if it takes you 6 months to save 6 months, then you're 6 months behind. So just a little bit. Dude, one of the best things I learned from you, man, is dollar cost averaging. Like $25, $50, $10, a dollar. Shit, like just put some money. You could buy hella coins with $1. You could buy crow for $1 every day. It's under $1 right now. You just have buy over 30 days, you got 30 crow. That's 30 more than the average person. So
Dude,
that's
that's exactly how I've gotten to where I'm at. It's like I don't even the same way with my investing cryptos, the same way as I save money. Like I have an automatic transfer from my checking to my savings account. I have an
nice.
automatic transfer from my checking to my Forex account through Bitcoin, automatically to Bitcoin, automatically to my emergency fund. So like, do I have like 5 or 6 automatic withdrawals every single week? Doing it for
Nice.
me. You don't even have to like think about the shit. You just create that plan and you just do it. Like especially if you have a fixed income, like for whatever one of your primary source of income, easy money.
Facts. I like how we
Yeah,
went from talking about hundreds of millions to like 2,500.
yeah, bro. I mean,
There's
that's the whole
levels to
point. You
this
gotta have
shit,
that
man.
vision,
Yeah,
but you gotta
facts.
realize where you're at too.
There's
But
levels.
speaking of, I mean, like we're talking a lot about financial well-being. I wanted to like pick your brain about physical well-being, bro. Because shit, bro, I see you in the gym every single damn day, bro.
Yeah. Bro,
Every
cheers. You
day.
gotta keep yourself hydrated,
Look at
bro.
that. He's drinking the 2 liter right there.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
just
for real.
changed it's changed my game, bro. It's when you're like not healthy, it doesn't allow you to think correctly. And your mental health it runs your everything, bro. Because like the way that I think affects everything. So if I'm like eating like shit, not getting enough sleep, not drinking enough water, dude. I heard this from I think it was Yaneli's Rosa. She said water is energy. bro. You drink water, like I always drink water with ice. It's cold, you know. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I just feel like when I drink cold water, it's like a shock to my body, and it just makes me feel so much better. And then the gym has become more of a habit now. I was going just because like I was pushing myself to go, but now if I don't go to the gym and I don't feel sore, I feel like a little bitch. You know, like I feel like I didn't do anything for the day
Yeah.
because it's like a physical push of like, and I don't lift heavy, you know. I don't go crazy and do like 800 reps either. I'm like moderate weight. Like I do my best to push my body weight, you know. So
Mhm.
like and like bench my body weight. Like if I can get up to benching my body weight or like close to that, like I don't need to go anything past that, you know. But it's
Yeah.
just, dude, it's just changed my game so much more. It allows me to stay disciplined, just think better, dude, and you just feel so much better. Like your confidence just like it's so much more. Like I don't know, it's the mental, it's not even the physical health. Like yeah, you look better, but I think it's the mental health that really changes. Like you just perform better in every aspect of life. You know, you just perform so much better. My trading has gotten so much better because I'm
Yeah.
more aware of like better at making like decisions, more disciplined. Like when you're working out, you're like, fuck, I know I can do one more. You like want to stop at fucking 10. You're like, let me do 12. I know I can do 12. And
Mhm.
then it's just like that mental push has translated to me being like, okay, hold your fucking trade until it hits take profit. You know,
Mhm.
like the other day I was in a trade on GU and it was like 7 pips from take profit. And I was about to hit the button and I was like, no, just hold it. And I literally, it was 2 minutes and boom, smack my take profit. It's like that mental clarity that you get. You're just more aware, like you're just more in tune, body, mind, and spirit, man. And I think physical health has a lot to do with spiritual health as well.
Mhm.
My mom always told me when I didn't clean my room growing up, she was telling me that the devil lived in my room because it was so dirty, you know. And then I remember my last job, totally opposite of that. This guy would always clean his desk every single day. He would clean his desk, and he always just. I asked him like, "Well, why do you do that every day? Like, you don't need to. Well, like once a week is good, you know." He's like, "Cleanliness is next to godliness." So it's like the
Ooh.
totally thing opposite of what my mom used to say. But it was just like the physical health like allows you to be more open to receiving, you know. You just feel so much better, bro. Your vibration is so much better. You also got, you know, like nutrition and all that shit. I don't really watch too much of like, I don't count like macros and shit. Have you ever done that? Have you ever like gone on like a strict
Yeah.
macro counting
Mhm.
diet? Like you have? I have
Yeah.
too, but I didn't last very long.
No. No.
It's
By the
hard.
way, you're looking good, bro. You're looking good, man. Keep it
Hey,
up.
thanks, bro.
Good work, bro. Yeah,
I
dude,
appreciate it.
I did a calorie counting thing way back 20 summer of 2019. Man, no, I got fucking ripped. Like I got a
Oh, it
six pack.
works.
It works, bro. It totally works. But I fucking was also I'd go out to dinner with my friends and like I'd be sitting there like not eating, you know, or like eating some. I'm not enjoying myself because I like wouldn't drink. I was super restrictive, so I've wasn't sustainable for me to count my calories and count I'm eating. I'm way more just kind of going with what my body tells me, what feels good. I've also shipped it off. That's kind of how I shipped it off from being a vegan as well. Um, just kind of realizing different food sources kept me way more sustained and actually gave my body versus what I needed. I was always hungry as a vegan.
Yeah.
I swear to God, bro, I was always trying to eat. And it was like that battle of restricting versus my health. So I think, yeah, physical fitness and health is all about what works for you because it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you can't sustain doing it, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, dude. Also, my dog helps me so much, man. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I like she makes me run. Like, even when I don't want to, like, yeah, she'll want to play, and I'll
You
be like,
got it.
can't
You
fucking,
got
you
it.
can't be a bad dad and just not play with your dog
Uh-huh.
when she wants to play. You know, walking, like I walk at least a mile every day. You know, take her out for a walk. Like,
Nice.
it's just like you need it, man. You need that exercise. She's awesome, bro. She's hurt right now, so I gotta take her to the vet.
Oh,
I don't want to take her
well,
to the vet though. I don't like doctors, man. So
me neither.
I think she just pulled a muscle, like playing with another dog. So like she's like limping.
Oh,
But it's like she when she's excited, she'll run no problem, you know.
yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's though.
I
Did you
believe in the body's ability, animals. humans, the body and mind's ability to heal itself,
Facts.
naturally. And there's things that can accelerate that process, but like the whole just jump in there and like stick a drug or like to do a
Yeah.
surgery to fix it. It's like,
No.
yeah, it's a homeopathic versus allopathic medicine. And I just discovered this subject a couple of months ago, but really interesting school of thoughts, different schools of thoughts of medicine versus like body knows how to heal itself, and we need to actually like take an idea of like there's natural remedies versus like drug-based remedies.
It's like Western and Eastern medicine, no?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is something I know, I'm pretty sure you've met Maria Lisa. Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah.
She taught me that like Western medicine is like heat and Eastern medicine is ice. So it's like for like pain and like stuff like
In like
that.
metaphor sense or like actual like
Both like metaphorically and like because when you apply heat to something, it allows blood flows, right? So it's like helping you flow, and it's like high vibration. And then Western medicine is just numbing. It's just numbing the pain. So it's like Eastern medicine, like acupuncture versus like taking Tylenol for a headache.
yeah,
A headache is just numbing it. It doesn't. You might not go through the
treating the
actual root of it.
symptoms versus the cause.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's such a good
yeah,
point, though. That like health is all like mental.
for sure.
You said you believe in the body's ability to heal itself. Like I do too. Like
Sure.
that's why I haven't took her to the vet, because I'm like, well, like I'm gonna wait like a month, and if she's like, if the pain gets worse, I'm not a specialist. I don't know what I'm doing. But if
Mhm.
she's like not
Just
terrible
getting
and
better.
she's
Yeah,
yeah, then it makes sense to just hold off.
it's like yeah, this idea of like instant gratification, like ooh, something is wrong. I need to fix it right now.
Yeah,
Like okay, let me go get some money to fix this. And it's like, or it's like all right, something's wrong. What happened? Let's use our brain. Like that wasn't a bit much of a big deal. Hey, am I getting better? Am I progressing? Yes, I can see that. Like, I actually hurt my shoulder a couple months ago. Like, I think I dislocated it. It was pretty bad. Like, it was painful, but I was kind of scared. I'm like, no, I had the surgery on this and did all the research, and I'm pretty sure I like did something with my joints and my shoulder, the labrum specifically. And it's like, if you tear it, like people are actually have shown in circumstances that they've torn those like muscles that they've actually been able to heal themselves. In other instances, I needed surgery. And so like the results I got from my own search was widely varied. It was crazy. I was like, okay,
yeah,
like I'm gonna just see how this does. And if I get better and I feel better, like 2 months later, I'm perfectly back to full strength, if not stronger, because I got so much awareness to like go really slow on my shoulder at the gym, work on my balance, work on my stability, work on all these different things I never did before. In fact, I feel like my shoulder is now stronger than I was before my injury. It's like, yeah, I didn't need a doctor, didn't need any of that stuff. It's like with all the amount of information you have and just your own brain and like just the belief set that like I think the most what I'm getting at, the point I want to make is that having a belief set that you are capable and that you are powerful, that you don't need somebody else's help or adjustance or
yeah,
guidance to achieve your means, whether it's making money, like recovering from an injury, just the fact that like you are more than capable of doing it if you
yeah,
set your mind to it. Like
yeah,
you have guidance and resources to get you there, but like you don't actually need them. And I think that's such a like mentality and ideology that I got brought up in. It was like you always need an expert, you need somebody, you need a doctor, you need a lawyer, you need a whatever to like it's like giving away that sovereignty of yourself almost that like you don't know any better, you need somebody that does know better. And why do they know better? Because they're an expert. And it's like
yeah.
this is a rabbit hole you could take down on the whole.
So deep, bro.
Yeah,
So deep. We should make that
but
shit a topic, bro, one of these days, bro. Because that goes so deep. It's like authority,
yeah,
It's just a
like who
consultative
knows best.
authority. Like you need
Yeah.
to go in, and it's like going back to ask your mom, like, yo, why does my finger hurt? Or like this hurts. She'll go tell you, oh, it's okay. And she's like, you gotta go to the doctor, you freak out, it's
Mhm.
dude, it's insane. The words, not to be cliche, but like the words I am, like I've been reading a lot of, I just started reading The Power of Awareness, and it says like that, whatever you say, I've referred this many, many times, whatever you say after I am, like if you say I'm sick, right? What are you're going to believe that because you're just telling everybody that you're sick. So
And then who
you're going to
tells you that
believe
you're
that you're sick.
better? The
Yeah.
doctor says now you are healthy, right? Because I
Yeah.
fixed you. Versus like, okay, now I'm not healthy. Now I'm not sick, and now I'm healthy because the doctor wait like the
Give me
hocus
that fairy
pocus.
dust.
Yeah,
Wave
bro.
the
And it's
magic
like,
wand.
wait. You don't need a doctor to tell you that you're healthy and that you're going to be okay and that you're going to recover and you can actually come to that conclusion based on your own thinking and experience.
Yeah.
No, you fucking oil back conspiracy theorist.
That's so
You
funny,
can't
man.
come up to logical conclusions on your own. You need an expert to tell you. You don't know anything about immune systems or diseases.
It's just like when people at the stores are oh man, I'm gonna say this, but I know it's gonna be controversial. It's like when people at the store are still wearing masks, you know. It's like
I feel bad for him.
me too, man, because you know what?
They're
They've gone
stuck.
too far, bro. They are completely on actual ropes. They have no way out at this point, bro. Like if they can't
Stuck.
fathom and think for themselves, or maybe they can, and maybe I'm just thinking, that they're being manipulated. But like logically speaking, those things are trash. Like they don't work. It says it on the
Right.
thing. It says it on the packaging. It doesn't protect you from anything. Science has proved it multiple times over and
Well,
over again.
there's a lot of psychological experiments that show if you bombard somebody with fear so much so like to the point of paranoia, they are unable to think critically anymore.
It
There's a lot
sucks.
of psychology that proves that, and like a lot of psychology experiments with authority, same type of thing. It's like fear is such a powerful like thing to bro. And I like at this point, okay, this is my 2 cents. The pandemic's over when you want it to be over. Some of us,
It
this
never
shit was over
started.
2 weeks. Yeah, it's 2 weeks in. Like, but for the rest, I'm not even trying to paint teams here because I really want to come at this with compassion. Like, it's been 2 years, yo. Come on, like,
Yeah, man.
and like if, yeah, it's the news isn't even talking about it anymore. But anyways, I feel bad for these people because I really do think they've been kind of trapped. Um, been kind of trapped in their in this fear and this like reactivity to this scary negative world that's out to get them. And it's like the world isn't like that. And I really hope one day they can get out of that paradigm and realize that like, hey, breathing the same air that I've always breathed. What's it past? How do you
Breathed.
breathe? Is breathing the same air that I've breathed the whole life with all these people, me in close contact with people like I've always been my entire life up until March 2020. That was perfectly safe and perfectly okay. And I'm telling you, it still is. And I really hope that people get out of that fear paradigm and believe that again, and not see a fellow human being as a threat because it's not the truth. And it's just,
What really sucks, man, is seeing little kids wearing masks still. Because it's not, they don't have a choice. They're incapable of being able to fully think for themselves. And so that their parents are just guiding them down. And especially little kids, between the ages 0 and 7, and even a little bit past 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, it's bad, man, because that's conditioned into their subconscious mind now.
yeah.
It sucks, man. But you know what? I guess we really can't do too much about it other than educate on the fact that people should critically think. Like,
Mm-hmm.
man,
I think I don't feel bad because I realize feeling bad is like feeling this sort of apathy and like feeling like people can't take care of themselves and therefore I should step in and do something for it. That's a wrong way of thinking. I don't think that's right. So I don't feel bad for people because that's what's underlying at the bottom of that guilt is that like you think they don't know better. And honestly, it's like, well, you do what's right for you. If you want to wear your mask, you want to do it. I share and advocate my side because I believe in what I believe and I'm a passionate and opinionated person. But yeah, it's like, dude, do what you got to do, but it's safe. It is okay. It is okay to be out there.
it is okay to be outside now.
And to
Yeah,
be interacting with people. It always has been. Like I know they convinced you it was dangerous for a year or two, but it's not dangerous. Trust me. Like
it's okay. It's okay now, honey. It's all right. You can take it off now. You can take the blindfold off now. Yeah.
please do.
Yeah, it's crazy. But listen, man, I think that should wrap it up. We've been going at it for a little bit now, man. But I'm excited for what's coming. I think we got a lot of good things planned, a lot of good topics. I'm excited for when we get to like chop it up with somebody else on here, and like really bring in some very highly qualified different opinions. We can get into some deep rabbit holes, kind of push our limits on what we can and can't say. Yo, dude, I got shadow banned before we continue on. I got shadow banned on playing something that Trump said. It had nothing to do politically. It had something to do with real estate. And now it's like, I guess you can't even. They're taking it serious. You can't. You can't. They don't want Trump anywhere, man. They don't want him anywhere. You can't share nothing. You can't even say the word Trump. It's like it's a
Yeah.
game. It's
Yeah.
scary. But yeah, we're gonna kind of push limits and see where this can kind of go, and keep educating this. And I'm excited to keep doing this with you, bro. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm grateful. I'm excited to see where this goes. And, to all of our listeners and audience members, thank you so much. If you're part of the IM community, freaking keep going, keep rocking it. You guys know what we're doing this for. It's about raising awareness, it's about creating those conversations to really impact people's lives and put them on the information that they were not exposed to, because the biggest caveat to life is that you have to change and become better. And where do you get that source of change and information? It's right here and seeing these kind of conversations. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us. We know no matter what we talk about, even if we push the limits of certain subjects and go down rabbit holes and get into some sticky information, that we have our communities, the community has our back. We have you guys' back. So I'm excited to see where this podcast goes, and the people that we're going to reach, people that we're going to have on. It's going to be dope, dude. I'm
It's gonna
excited
be
for it.
fun. It's gonna be fun,
Yeah.
man. I'm super excited. All right, everybody. Much love. We'll see you guys next week.